Let's talk about money. What about money? I gotta tell you that I've noticed something about money. My attitude about money. I'm angry about money. You know, I look at money. Why do I get angry when I look at money? When I see the green positive number that shows up in my bank account, I can't see that as a good thing. All I see is the red numbers of money going out of my account. Why am I so angry about money? When I pay the rent, I'm angry. We're renting right now. Sometimes I have a pretty good positive attitude about paying the rent because I feel so fortunate and even blessed that we were able to find this house that we live in a wonderful neighborhood, one of the best schools in the country that my boys go to. Well, Ryan just graduated from, Spencer's going to. Very fortunate, and I'm happy to pay the rent. But when I'm writing that check and the money's going out, I'm angry. When I pay the phone bill, how can these phones possibly cost so much? When I just had to take the cat to the vet because she was limping, and for some reason we couldn't figure out, was she injured? Did she break a bone? Did she have an infection? We don't know. I'm not a vet. So I had to take the cat to the vet. And, you know, she got an antibiotic shot and some pain pill. The vet doesn't know what happened either. But I had to pay $208 out of my Metallica money so that the pet can be okay. Now, that's one of the risks that go with having pets, I guess. But my point is, instead of being happy that I have that money and I can pay it, instead of that, realizing that we make enough money to pay the rent without a problem, instead of being happy that I have plenty of money to pay this phone bill, I'm angry about it. Where does this come from? If I look at it from a law of attraction principle standpoint, I don't know if anybody subscribes to the law of attraction or not. I'm not sure what I think about it. But one thing that's come out of that for me is that I should be happy that I have enough money to pay these things. But so far in my 54 years, I've created an attitude that there's never enough money. So when I have to pay for something, I'm angry about it because there's never enough money, even though in reality there's plenty of money. It's not like we have a huge amount of surplus. In fact, we make enough to get by, but it's kind of a barely thing. Who knows, maybe we could cut back on some things and learn how to cook at home a little more often. But that's not the point. The point is what to do about it. I don't know if anybody shares this feeling with me that there's never enough money, and I'm angry about paying things that really I should be happy that there's plenty of money to pay these things with. Even though I had to dip into my Metallica fund a little bit, guess what? I had the money to pay it. So why am I angry about it? I don't really know. Don't know where to go with it. Don't know if it matters why, other than what to do about it. Maybe just being aware, kind of like I do when I pay the rent. The rent is a lot of money, and it goes out the door. But when I pay the rent, I have a little bit different attitude about it. I have that little twinge of anger that I don't want money going out of my account. But I'm very thankful and grateful to the powers that be, my landlord, for giving us this opportunity to live in this house where we had applied for so many places to live and been turned down every time. I met this landlord, and I was pretty scraggly because I decided not to cut my hair until I got to see my boys again. I'd been growing my hair for a year and a half. People told me I looked like Robert Plant from the 70s. Had a soul patch right here. I looked ridiculous, and I met the landlord and his wife and the owner of the house. So the owner, it's complicated, not applicable to this story. Anyway, I met the owner of the house, I met the landlord, who's I guess the property manager, and they decided to give us a place to live at a very, very reasonable rent for the area that we want to live in. Even if it was in a different area, still very reasonable. Compared to more rough neighborhoods with worse schools, it's almost the same rent. Anyway, I try to be thankful when I pay the rent, but I'm angry when I pay everything else. So that's a change in my attitude that I'm going to be working on, that I kind of just realized. I might have realized it some time ago that I have this, but never really did anything about it. But I've realized that it's important for me to do something about this attitude, and I hope I'm not teaching my kids to have this same attitude. I've tried really hard to not inflict that attitude on my kids. When my kids need something, I get it for them. I just hope they don't hear my inner thoughts of complaining about the money. I want them to feel like when they need something, they deserve it. And that it's not a problem to buy something for them. Alright, you wondered what's on Paul's mind today? That's what's on Paul's mind.